This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. A wise man once said that if you're a Republican and you've lost Tomi Lahren, you're too far gone. And that is what is happening right now. This impeachment farce with James Comer and Jim Jordan and the rest of these nut Republicans, it is so just transparently corrupt and an attempt to interfere in the 2024 election that even diehard little Nazi pukes like Tomi Lahren, they don't even have her anymore. I'm going to play this clip from Fox News. She's on with this guy named Howard Kurtz, who is their media reporter. I apologize for the comparison, especially to you, Brian Stelter, but he is supposed to be doing the job, reporting on the media, that Brian Stelter used to do before he was unceremoniously fired over at CNN. That's the role this guy plays. So, of course, when you're in the media landscape and you want hard-hitting analysis about what is taking place, you go to somebody who's experienced, somebody who's had a litany of time spent in the public eye and doing public policy work. And no, that's not what you do when you're on Fox News. You go to 20-something Tomi Lahren, who's never actually had a real job, whose only job has been to whip up racists into a frenzy over Colin Kaepernick while maligning him for being adopted by white people. That's the Fox News way. Watch this, and then we'll talk about what little Tomi Lahren had to say.
Both sides have been spinning this, obviously, and if this other televised hearing comes about, I can just imagine the ratings. But Jim Comer says the deposition was successful. They were able to prove several bits of our evidence. That's a quote from the congressman. The question the mainstream media keep asking is, where's the proof that Joe Biden got a dime?
Yeah, and that's going to be the difficult part for Republicans. And I got to say, as somebody who does believe there's plenty of evidence here, I think that this has failed optically for Republicans, and they've done good work. Obviously, Jim Jordan, Comer have done great work on this, but optically, it does make it seem as though they're beating up on someone with addiction issues. That's exactly what the media wanted it to look like. That's how they framed it. And unfortunately, that's what's coming to fruition. So I would encourage Republicans, I know you want to get to the bottom of this, but let's focus on the election. Let's focus on the failed policies of Joe Biden. This impeachment inquiry, unfortunately, is falling flat with a lot of viewers and voters.
It is funny that she says, as someone who does believe there's a ton of evidence out there, what evidence? You had the microphone right in front of your face, clipped to your shirt. All you had to do was list one piece of evidence. But you don't, because James Comer doesn't and Jim Jordan doesn't. They don't. There is no evidence. It's all speculation. It's all ginning up of accusations. I think the impeachment inquiry has failed optically for Republicans. I would encourage Republicans to focus on the election, which means, all right, let's stop with this. This isn't going anywhere. The American people see right through what you're doing. You're not even doing a Benghazi as well as those idiots did Benghazi, however many years ago it was. That's a problem for Republicans. When you've lost the most diehard, the most sycophantic, the most lapsed judgment morons like Tomi Lahren, you've lost. It's time to pack it up. Look, it's like I've said for months and months and months, if not over a year now, that when this dies and this goes away, and there will be no impeachment, there will be no prosecutions. There will be nothing comes of this at all other than a self-generated scandal on the part of Republicans. We will know that it was a nothing burger, that it was nothing there, just like with Benghazi. No prosecutions. Just like with this. There will be nothing. And it should be, if we can look past the next scandal that will capture our attention, we should be able to look back and say, well, yeah, that's call it like it was. It's just Republicans distracting the American people, attempting to damage or tarnish the reputation and record of Joe Biden to lift Donald Trump's profile, to raise Donald Trump's credibility in the minds of some undecided voters. That's the only That is the only mission here. That is the intent of this. And to some degree, I'm sure it works, but to another, more large degree, people catch on. They see what's happening here. That when you have Republicans like Steve Ducey, when you have Republicans like Tomi Lahren, when you have a host of others say, yeah, let's move on here. We're getting embarrassed. It's time to maybe pack it in. You hear me, James Comer? Maybe it's time when you lost Tomi Lahren. Anyway, what do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a voicemail. 714-576-4054. Of course, as always, you can email me, daily@dollemore.com. More importantly, though, leave a comment below. That'll help trigger YouTube to recommend this content to new viewers. I am within 10,000 subscribers of 600,000, and that is pretty cool. Anyway, if you appreciate what I do and you want to help support and produce this content, click the join button below this YouTube video. Become a channel member for $1.99 a month. You can go over to my Patreon page, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I don't know why I signal back here, like my Patreon page is back here. It's just what I do. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Threads and TikTok and Facebook and Blue Sky @Dollemore. I'll see you next time. Until then, be genuine. Take care of one another.